flaky situation. Not flaky as in flaking off, but flaky as in it has flakies. That I need to spruce up to last through the rest of the week. I've got some cuticle gap going, which is less obvious because I picked a neutral color for these nails. But they're getting a little bit wider than I prefer, and I have a little bit of a chip right here that happened today. I did these nails on Tuesday, I think, last week, when I took off my multi-chrome that I did last Sunday, because I just needed to do just, something relatively easy. It's Great Lakes Lacquer. It's apple pie mother bleep bleep, which, the name could be better. Topped with 1850 Artisan Polish Lion's Mane Jelly, which is, as you can see here, better than in my nails. Although it looks like this on my nails in person. It goes from orange to green. Sort of a shifty situation. This has flakies in it too. You can see them there in the bottle that are quite orangey shifty on their own too. And I really love this combination. I'm enjoying them a lot. But I want to spruce them up. And what I'm thinking is that I'm going to do a little floral sort of a ruffian sort of a situation around the cuticle area. And then on my accent nails, I'm going to do a little cuticle area up around the side of the nail so I can cover that little chipped spot. So let me go and post in Discord so that people know that I am on. And then we will get started. I need to clean my nails off with rubbing alcohol before we do any application stuff as well. Because I just finished cooking things and eating, and I have some stray something on there, I'm sure. Okay. Okay, so let's get the rubbing alcohol going. I'm not sure exactly about the colors that I'm going to use here. We're going to do a little bit of testing. Actually, you know what? Let's do that before I clean off my nails, just for ease of doing it in one fell swoop. I have like an orangey sort of color called Cha Cha Cha. This red is the one that I used in my poinsettia water marble. It's called Cubana. And then I have a sort of a pinkier rose red called Brick Sidewalk. This one is, I guess, terracotta. Is that the right word? And then this one called Havana Nights, which is a little bit of a darker red. We're going to see how those play together. And then for the leaves, Chloe and Pistachio Ice Cream. Kale polish is within reach. And I know that they have fairly opaque creams. So that's what we're going for. We want opaque so that we can cover up this gap.
It goes everywhere.
ASAP.
It goes everywhere.
And I've just got my little berry wine brush from Winstonia, which, there's the logo. And I'm getting my little jug of acetone out so I can clean off my brush in between my stuff. Let's try some dot flowers mixed with some other kinds of flowers. I don't want it just to be dot flowers because that's a little bit boring in my opinion. Just to have all the same kinds of flowers. It adds more variety when there's a mix. Of course, you can have a couple of the same kind next to each other, like a little cluster, like it would be in a bouquet. Right now, I'm really just checking the opacity and the way that the colors go together, more than actually figuring out what thing I want.
Yeah, it's really cool.
There we go. Since we're going to be testing on here, I'll bring the focus down here. Actually, I'll zoom you in just a smidge as well.
This is how it should have been the first time.
Voila. You can see that's a darker red, right, compared to the other orangey color. Oh, I hear my big cat shouting. Do you hear her shouting? She's shouting. After we figure out the colors and if they go well together, we are going to figure out the configuration of what's going to go around the cuticle in what way.
Which one? The wreath?
Let me see, that's a little bit more, slightly more rosy, a little bit more terracotta.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Eyes glow. Yeah.
And I also have this sort of shimmery shade. I'm going to use this darker red for an accent. This is Havana Nights. You see they all four go really well together. These orangey reddy colors over here. Right? They have a nice little palette-y deal. Okay. And then this is Prince Cornelius, which is a little bit of a shimmerier thing. Hi, Lexi. Yeah, I'm not going to be on super long. I'm just doing a touch-up to the nails that I have had on since Tuesday. It's been a week, right? And they're hanging in there really, really well. The flakies. Let me zoom you in a little. The flakies that I posted. I don't remember what day, but I've been wearing them since Tuesday, and I've just got some cuticle gap there that needs to be filled in a little bit. You can see from the side a little bit better. Which, it's not as evident because they're nude, but I also do have a little chip right here on this ring nail that I am going to be...
I'm done.
I'm going to do flowers around the cuticle area, and then on the ring nails I'm going to bring the flowers kind of around the side wall, as on the one side as well. Probably on the thumbs too, just as an accent.
Did you hear it scream yesterday?
Because I don't want to completely redo my nails until the weekend. And I'm planning on doing a water marble this weekend. I'm excited. I think it will be fun. But I don't have time to do that tonight because it's already 9:45 and we had late dinner and stuff. So this one, the Prince Cornelius color, is kind of a sparkly-ish. It's a very autumnal, autumn spice sort of a color. Oh, I just found out apparently that there's an Ilamasqua color called Melange. Speaking of spice. And that makes me laugh. That's a little dark to go with the orange. I don't really like that as the center of that, but I do like it with this other. I might want a slightly lighter center to those orange flowers. In which case, Princess Penny is like a coppery color that would probably go well.
In the wrong game.
Of the things I have within reach. Okay, let's try that. Oh, hey, Luke. Yeah, I totally get that. I'm starting super late, and I'm not going to be on super long because I'm starting super late. I'm just doing a touch-up on what I have. I'm filling in some cuticle gaps since I did these on Tuesday last week, not on stream. They're just a plain color with flakies over the top, and I want to spice up the cuticle gap and cover a chip so that I can make them last until the weekend when I'm going to do water marble. Yes, late stream is late, praise. Late stream is late. But like I said, we're not going to be on very long. We're not doing everything under the sun. We're just adding some stuff to this color that's already there. I think that's only okay as a center of that. Maybe I want something more neutral. Or maybe I want something more yellow. Well, let's see. I've got Caramello, right? That's a lot of people call it a mustard yellow. It's not really a mustard yellow. It's more like a butternut squash color. Similar to Yummy Yams, actually. It's a little darker than Yummy Yams, the Sally Hansen color. And then I've got this Tropicana yellow color, which I think is going to be too bright. But we'll see. Yeah, that's a little bright for what I'm going for. Let's try it with Caramello. The caps on these kale polish bottles, by the way, don't get acetone on them. They have this like matte velvet sort of finish to them, which is nice. But if you get acetone on them, the matte velvet niceness comes off, and then you're left with this weird like residue. So yeah. And then I have peanut butter, which is a kind of a neutrally brown sort of a tone. I need to shake this a little bit. Neato! That's awesome, Luke. Thank you for sharing the enthusiasm for Praise's awesomeness. I'm so excited to get my Lord of the Rings book later this month. Yes, I like that better.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so that's a no on Tropicana. I'm just going to say no to peanut butter because it's too brown. I'm really excited to try this Moonshine Manny prototype that I got. It's a random prototype 408. But it's this really nice, I'm like 90% sure, without any actual confirmation, but in my head I'm imagining that this is the prototype for a color called Aslan, which I think is right there, that she made. Hey, Gators! Because it has a lot of the same kind of components, but it's in a more peachy base, which, you know, I'm really, really excited to try this. But not this week because I'm doing water marble, and flakies don't water marble well. Yeah. And it's actually awfully similar to the color tones I have on right now. So, you know, I like what I like.
He's lower than you. It broke. Help. Ready.
Okay.
Ready.
So, let's decide what we're doing around. We need to do the leaves first, obviously. Because they go underneath the flowers. In like 90% of cases.
Which one?
This is Kale Polish Chloe, which is very similar in color to Painted Polish by Lexi Stamped in Moss. If you were curious, it's a little bit less opaque, and the formula is slightly different. It's a little bit, I don't know, they apply differently. The Kale Polish one is a little bit thinner. Not in a bad way. And the other one's not thick in a bad way either. They're just slightly different from one another.
Yep, you're ready, guys.
We're going to do half a leaf with the darker green, and then we're going to try half a leaf with the lighter green.
Look at it.
We'll see how that looks.
Look at me. Yeah.
Gotta shake this one. This is Pistachio Ice Cream, which is another one of the duds in my search for the light green to complete my gradient that I've been searching for forever. The second gradient color that I've been searching for forever. One was that really sort of muted pastel grayed out blue that ended up, I was trying to do the dot gradient with what were the colors? Zoya Ireland, Zoya Sage, and then I wanted a blue that was in the same range. Anyway, it ended up being SE Indigo for it from their TLC line. So that hunt was concluded successfully. This hunt, which is just
No.
an olive green gradient from dark to light, from like super dark, almost black, to like super light,
in the elite
but
league.
still olivey-ish toned.
Remember the Pathfinder yesterday?
The lightest
Freaking
color in
terrible.
that blend I still have not found.
And all I had-
Everything
all
that
I
is
had
light
was
enough,
the-
that is grayed out enough, is too blue.
No dropping difference.
And then everything that is light enough and yellow enough is too saturated. That I've found.
Prowler game.
Eh?
I'm gonna use my McDonald's Prowler.
My big cat's over there kicking her feet. This does not blend well as one leaf. So I'm thinking 2 different kinds of leaves, yeah? Or light green leaf with dark green bordering. So let's try little green leaves. We'll do a little doot, doot. I'm not actually being careful at all with my little brush right here. This is a very sketchy, half-formed iteration of a leaf.
They fixed a lot of stuff, but they did not.
I'm just trying to get color feeling.
I just learned how to do it yesterday too. Oh, there's a Havoc there.
I don't really like the tone of that green with the other stuff. It's too pastel-y, and everything else feels more fall.
It has the old amount. Yeah.
So,
Look at that, my Prowler. My McDonald's again.
You know, this one, which is Miss Kensington, which is a much bluer tone, sort of mint color.
Yeah, ready to be trolled.
Which goes even less. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try it again. Because I don't want to go digging around for other polishes, really. And I know I want at least 2 types of green. Oh, Biscuits, your baby girl.
The Devotion's busted too, right?
Okay. Let's get a little swatch out of my color.
Yeah, well,
this is that, it's Apple Pie Mother Bleeper. You know, with the comic strip asterisks and whatever. From Great Lakes Lacquer, which is an absolutely lovely color, and I'm very excited that I found it in a D-stash. Look at the pretty flakies. Yes, that's what's better.
Yeah. Or you put on a helmet, everyone can see where
and then we're gonna let that dry for just a second. We're also not using this color. Put that away. And we're not using this color.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put that away.
Yeah. I like that game enough. The one thing I don't like is how you, like, I don't know how to describe it.
Let's add a little bit more here. Anybody watch Dell, Fat Cat Polished, and her swatches that she does for polish pickup? She does her coats. I can't believe she doesn't get bubbles. The amount of time that she waits in between coats would totally not work for me.
Oh,
I'm amazed every time. It might just be because she doesn't let them fully dry before she takes them off, so the bubbles don't become noticeable.
That name in the filthy.
I wonder if she makes her coats that fast when she's doing like her regular nails. I don't know. Dry, please. Look at how pretty, though. I'm gonna zoom you like right in here.
Yeah. This hurts when I think. Yeah,
I
do it.
Is that in focus?
Yeah, I can hear them right next to me, even though they're that far. This is so bugged.
Flakies. That's not really in focus.
here.
Right. Do you see how it's still wet? But it has flakies and they're so pretty.
Wait,
Okay.
why am I dead? I don't understand.
And then we have this.
It's like lag or what?
So obviously this is not a good swatch basis. The base is not dry and they're kind of blending together, right? They're just kind of like oozing around. I just want the similar color. I'm not even going to put the flowers on top of it. I just want it next to it so I have like a color field to visually judge against.
Text boxes.
Okay. So let's try. Let's pretend that this is a nail shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go around the edge. We're going to do like a little doot. Doot. And we're going to do another doot. Like that. And then over here, we're going to do one more. Okay. And then we're going to get the dark green.
Yeah.
And we're going to do bigger leaves with the dark green. Just ignore the shape of that ugly, ugly leaf. This is just a test.
Yep. It's a little too much. Yeah.
We're going to put this dark, dark red.
Maybe they're afraid of it being racist on her.
I'm going to make some more asymmetrical sorts of little blobs for these. Oh wow, I forgot to change the focus back out. You guys can't see anything. I'm so sorry. There. I made some asymmetrical blobs. And then we're going to go in with the lighter color.
The drop speed updates much faster.
And we're going to add some centers to those. Just to get the color idea.
It's like instant.
And some brighter red. We're going to do some dots.
Yeah.
And then with the orange.
Are there people here? Yeah.
Okay, I have an idea of what I'm doing. Let's clean off my nails and get to work. We need this as a palette though, so it can't go anywhere.
You guys have guns? Yeah.
I'm cleaning off my nails. There's nothing really to see here, aside from a little cotton ball and some rubbing alcohol.
Right here, say, you ready?
Ow, apparently I have a paper cut right friggin' there. Ow, ow, ow. Okay.
I just have a moment.
Okay.
Here. I can't do it.
So let's start with dark red. I think I am going to do some of the leaves after I do the flowers, just so I have a better idea of where I want them to be, where I want the flowers to be, and I'm not feeling like I'm constrained by the leaves.
Octane's icon's different.
The cuticle edge, I'm just,
Right.
oops, I'm sorry, I'm
Right.
not on camera.
I thought
The
it different.
cuticle edge, I am just making sort of straight because the flower continues
that's
off of the nail, right? But then the part that's coming into the nail, I'm kind of making a slightly irregular
Yeah.
shape.
That's different. Yeah, let's see. But
I'm not like trying to make it like rounded like a rose or anything either. I'm just kind of making it sort of
I like VTT.
feathered-ish.
It's good.
Like there's petals coming out, but not anything specific. I have 2 on this finger. It's going to swoop around.
Survival bone.
Okay, I have 2 on this finger just because the middle finger is wider. There's going to be 2 on the thumb as well.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I hope that works, Praise. Let's see. Let's decide which way we want the thumbs to swoop. Let's swoop this way, toward the inside of the nail.
Now we're going to. We're going. Throw my nose and beat on the ground. So excited.
Okay. That's fine for that color. We're just going to do one hand first. Just to make it easier on me as I switch back and forth between all my colors and make a plan. Keeping track of it across 2 hands without a fully formed plan is a little bit tricky. Okay. So then, that's a big blob of polish right there. Do you see that? That's way too much. We're going to dab it off onto the palette. And we're going to add this. Again, not 100% neatly, but not 100% messily either, into the centers of these little flowers that we just made. And we're not centering it in the red that exists on the nail. We're centering it in the center of our imaginary flower that it's part of, right? We don't want it to feel like it's a lopsided flower. We want the flower to feel complete, like it continues off the nail. Okay, so that's the lighter red for those centers. We're going to go back in with this brighter kind of a red. Actually, before we do that, we need to add some leaves to these. So we're going to use the light green. Lord, give me strength and patience. Let this light green work.
For energy weapons. Well, I guess probably fine.
Okay. So we're going to go this way and make a leaf. And we're going to go this way and make a leaf. And we're going to go this way and make a leaf and make it fat enough that it covers that cuticle area, because that's what we're trying to cover. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to do a leaf.
It's useless.
And then we're going to come over here and we're going to do a leaf. I mean, it's kind of redundant, right? I'm doing leaves. That's what I'm doing.
But my face should scare you.
Blow by blow narration can get repetitive when you're just doing the same thing several times. Okay, and then this one goes this way. That's fine. Okay, and then this way, I'm gonna go like this.
I like it.
And then over here, we're gonna go like this. I just totally flooded my cuticle there. Good job, Gloria. That's what the cuticle scoop is for, though.
Apex. Oh, I'm hearing it now.
Okay.
Oh, yep, it's just randomly going off.
Cuticle scoop.
Oh, you're doing it. Okay, it just double stacked that time. Sandy's run. Get some vitamin C, dude.
Okay, so do you see how we've got way too much green coming up the side here? We're gonna get a little Q-tip.
Stop.
And we're gonna take it off really fast.
Drop at the same time.
Right, like that. And we're not gonna get fuzzies in the rest of our manicure. No, we're not.
I love this game. Come get the straw. Yeah, come get the straw.
Get out of there, fuzzy. Thank you.
Someone's here. Oh,
And then we're gonna go back in with the green again and fix where that fuzzy was. There.
Okay.
That's better. Okay, I don't hate that light green. That light green is okay.
Sure.
Let's go in now with our reddish red. No, we're going to save that for the dots. Let's go in with the orange.
Yeah.
Now this time we're going to think about dots, but we're not going to make our dots dot-shaped, if that makes sense. We're going to make our dots a little bit elongated. We're gonna pull the dots.
Oh my god, it's killing me.
Into a little bit more of a regular shape.
Turn it off.
Now, obviously, some of this is not really going to show because it's going to be behind and or in front of these other flowers. But some of them will. Thank you, Praise.
There we go. It's going off again.
Okay. So that, as you can see, kind of starts to come up around that way. We're going to do some leaves that really make the curve more evident. Oh. Okay, on this nail, same thing. We're just going to make our little... They have 6 petals, these little dudes that we're doing. So they're like little asterisks, I guess.
Hang on. The sound. It's going crazy.
Or do asterisks have 8? I don't know. And we're going to do some that aren't complete, right? Like on the thumb, where we had that one that was kind of between the 2 red flowers. We're going to do one on this side that goes off of the nail.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's not consistent. I'm not taking a jump pad for the next 2 months.
Okay. There's that little dude. Then on the thumb, I mean the middle finger, good lord, what am I talking about? Trying to bang into my cuticle as little as I can help it. And some of these orange flowers I'm pretending are going under the red flowers, and some of them I'm pretending they're going over the red flowers. Because when flowers grow together, they don't always just have one color on top of the other color.
Top 5.
Right?
Yeah, let the shooting resolve itself so that we get top 5.
We're going to make that one go under. So really, for these ones that go under, I'm just filling in the space in between the red flowers so that it looks like there's an orange flower hiding under there. Except for this time I hit the cuticle and I didn't want to do that. Let me...
It must have been like, oh man, we gotta keep top 5. And they all just ran away.
That was unfortunate. Now my cuticle is all orange. Get out of there. I'm going to have to go back over that red flower a little bit with the center color because the orange got pushed over it a little.
It looks so amazing. What do we do?
Okay. I need to stretch a little.
Yeah. People are excited. He's just excited.
Okay. Let's come back in with this terracotta color brick sidewalk. We're going to fix this center of this flower that was supposed to go further that way.
Just let it sort itself out.
And then we're going to get some of this other dark red color, which I don't remember the name of, which I'll tell you again in a second. Again, we're going to get a little closer to the cuticle area with that color. I feel like we need another flower. Sorry, I feel like we need another flower coming out, right, on this one. But I guess we could do that with a leaf. But then there's not that color, so let's do it with the orange. We'll do one right here.
Can someone die already so we can get top 5? Everyone's super nervous. Yeah.
We'll make it coming over this other flower.
Never taking a jump pad ever again.
Okay. We're gonna still add the dark green leaves.
Yeah.
That middle nail is looking a little bit more full than the index nail, though, at this moment, but that's okay.
Shoot a rocket at it.
It will continue to get balanced as we go.
Oh, they're immediately getting freaking ganked.
Okay, so we're gonna bring the orange.
Let them kill it. There we go.
Around
access earned. Now we can die. Killing them.
That one's peeking out from behind.
What? Dude, what is happening?
And then this one will be on top.
It's jump heads out of nowhere. I'm just dead. They're throwing stuff at me. Be careful.
Okay, you see how that one kind of curves up and around more than the other ones?
It's like grapple and resin. Oh, they're out. Oh, you got them.
Okay, and then
Keep going.
we'll have this one on top.
Pick up my new character, DLC. You just kidding? Did you see the guy you knocked? He's being res right now. I can hear it. Yeah, we gotta move.
This orange flower is getting a little chonky. Not quite as defined as its brethren on the other nails. I think I'm just going to make him a little bigger so that the petals can individuate a little bit. Because we don't want him to end up looking like that other weird spider on the original Spider-Man costume. Right? That would just be silly. That's okay. That'll do.
Like last time. Great boss.
Let me grab my this. Okay, we need to go in and add our center color for those orange flowers with Caramello. We're going to use a dotting tool so that it's a little bit more even for these flowers.
Give me a minute. Jump head. Yeah, they're below me, that's why. Ow!
Trying again not to cover too much of those nails. Okay, so there's the dots in the centers. I feel like I need to add another little bit of orange on the pinky because there's only one.
What?
So we're going to add a little edge bit right over here. It's not going to... Are there any that don't have a center bit? No. So we have to have a little bit of a center bit on this one too. But this one's going to be smaller.
Ruined the game. I have the best. Well, you get crazy XP.
I'm going to try to adjust that one a little bit with some of the green, I think. This petal right over here got a little bit blobby. I think I can correct it by going around it just a little bit. And then these ones. Clean up the edge of that orange a little bit. Okay. And then, right back. Oh no. Ah, I made it too fat. That's okay.
Alright. There we go. Try that.
The little bit of Caramello, and then we can correct this center as well. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's go back in and add some of the darker green.
Yeah, the real one's really cool.
for some of these other leaves.
It's a red symbol.
Okay, so we're going to be adding these as sort of
This is the least working video game ever.
feathery sort of leaves. Feathery is the wrong word.
Right.
But they're going to come out a little bit more.
Okay.
Um,
Code leaf. Right, guys. Yep.
Which way do I want this one to go? I think I'm going to have it come
I can't get over.
this way a little bit. But we're not going to make it quite as long.
Shirt as a gun.
Look, good.
It's not like they're not aware either.
We are going to add some red dots.
Two of the artists were like, dude,
again.
Funny.
But I feel like I want a little bit more green right here. Okay.
So exclusive, no one.
And then on this one, we're gonna have the first leaf going
Guys, I don't think this was meant to be.
This way.
Ready up again. Code leaf.
And then this one.
We're screwed.
It's gonna kind of go this way.
Oh my god, did it work? Alright.
That looks alright.
And
then this one is gonna come up this way along the edge.
I hear slapping. You guys hear anyone falling? A whole bunch of falling downstairs. Oh, the banners are gold. This is fancy. I swear Octane's icon's different. It looks really weird. It looks better, but I'm pretty sure that's not normal.
Okay. And then we'll do a secondary. It's not really going to go very far, but it's going to kind of come off this way like it would continue that direction for a second leaf off of him.
Wow. Alright, let's get this right. We're going.
Okay.
We are not playing the game. That's how you win.
That's looking all right.
The new music's so much better. Makes me wish the mixing worked.
Let me clean off some of this random polish that got up here for who knows how. We're going to add a little bit more of this pistachio ice cream green right along this leaf because it needs a little bit more thickness there because that cuticle area has not been filled with polish previously.
That's what happens when you jump 1,300 meters.
Okay. Let's get some more Chloe. Oh, come onto this snail. Okay, we're gonna go.
It's like one
this way.
Yep. Sure did.
And then we're gonna
I
come
fell.
this way a little bit.
Hey, come get me. I had a wingman. Hurry up, go res me so I can loot. Tree park. No, don't go to that one. Go to the swamps one. There'll be people over there. The people from like Relay will be there. No one ever goes here. Yeah, I just use that one.
Okay, and we want this one to
I tried to
just
bunny
come
hop,
kind
I
of in
forgot.
between a little bit.
Bunny hop.
Okay. That's looking okay.
Practiced for no reason.
And then Chloe on the pinky.
Dash room.
Okay, so we want
We're gonna hear this. They're all
this
gonna come.
leaf
We're gonna be like, kick him out of the cube.
to come this way a little bit so that we can
They're like, oh,
get
that's an
some
elite
of
player.
that.
Exciting. Piggly Wiggly 1998. Another res. Yeah, I need gear. Nothing.
Okay, that's fine for that. We're going to add some dots with the other brighter red
Oh, I know.
as an accent. This is Cubana. We're going to use a smaller dotting tool than the dotting tool you used for the centers of the flowers, because we're just using this to balance out any color that we feel needs a little bit of something.
Sandy, just don't get eliminated. Oh no. But all three of them are here. Yeah.
Okay. There's our thumb.
Yep.
There's our index finger.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have any stuff, so.
There's our middle finger. There's our ring finger. Obviously, you know, I'm just putting the dots where I feel like they need to be in order to make it feel balanced. This thumb is a little bit more sparse than the other nails, but not by a significant margin, and I'm not changing it. It's just because I was putting the same number of elements on it as I was on the ring finger, and they were there. That's fine. That pinky's a little bit more full than some of the other nails, but that's because it's smaller. And I'm not going to be mad about it. All right, let's go in and clean up the cuticles and add top coat, and then we'll do the other hand.
Yep. Do it.
This orange color really did get in my cuticle.
Someone's here.
Let me.
They're killing each other in that spot I marked.
I'm gonna use this really quick.
We all like fell together and
Kind of scrape some of the skin to get some of that dried orange out of there.
Thunderdome is much better.
Sorry, I know that was probably right in the mic. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, I am going to go in with a little bit more of the green right around the edge there, so that I can get a nice curved cuticle area that isn't a big gap. Right here. Okay. Okay. See, that's got less of a gap, and that looks fine.
Hello?
You just want to make it look curved and intentional, right? Like, obviously, there's going to be a couple of places where it's actually just my nail showing through instead of the base color, but you won't be able to tell if I clean up this edge really nicely and make it look seamless in the way that the edges of the colors follow from one to the other as they skip over the space on the nail. There's a little hair there. Get out of there, you hair. Okay. I do need to add a little bit more of the green there. Sorry, I banged into you. Right there. Because I went in a little too far when I was cleaning up. Right. Much more decorated. Hi, Colette. We are doing cuticle fill-in for a week-old manicure by adding flowers around the edges. I have a chip on this side, so the ring nails are kind of curving around a little bit more. This hand's done. We need to do this hand. We're going to put top coat on the first hand, though, obviously. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, the ferns, the multichrome ferns, did not stay on my nails very long. They, despite being quite cute, I had to do dishes without gloves because we needed to do dishes to eat dinner, and James had thrown away the gloves because they were old, and then when he went to the store, there weren't any. So I had to do dishes without gloves, and then they chipped, and so then I had to put something on really quick and plain. So I just did flaky thing that was beautiful because I knew I was going to that wedding, and I didn't know what I was wearing, and I wanted something neutral that would go with whatever. And it actually ended up going really well with the dress I decided to wear because they were all kind of warm, neutral sorts of tones. Anyway, as a consequence of that, this neutral, flaky whatever has been on my nails since Tuesday of last week and needed a little bit of a loving renewal, even though I didn't have time to fully paint my nails again. From the ground up, as it were. Okay. We had a really good dinner, though, even though it was a little late, and therefore made stream also late. We had steak and cauliflower with beets and feta cheese and pistachios and a seasoning called Ras Al Hanout, which I think is from Morocco. But I had to find it at the World Market because it wasn't anywhere else. It means top shelf, as James muttered in the background. I don't know if you could hear him. Because it's like the best spice they have to offer in that region. Apparently, that's why it's called that in whatever the language is that it is. It was really yummy. We've had that side dish before, and of course James knows how to cook steak really well, so it was good. But we didn't eat until like 8:45 because both of us were at work pretty late. I didn't get home until 7:30, and then I was cooking the stuff, and then James came home, and then he started cooking with me. That is a giant bead of polish. Yes, you should float your top coat brush. No, you don't need friggin' that much. I still feel like I overcrowded that pinky slightly. Oh well. Oh well. I was wearing latex gloves while I was cutting the beets. And James came in and he's like, "Did you cut yourself?" And I was like, "No, I just don't want to get beet stains all over my hands." You know, I'm not about that. Although I guess it would have gone with this color palette. You know, roasty autumn colors. We were talking about blueberries the other day. How weird blueberries are. They're blue on the outside and green on the inside, and they make things purple. Right? So if you're talking about something that's blueberry colored, which color are you talking about? Are you talking about the color of the outside of the blueberry? Are you talking about the color of the inside of the blueberry? Are you talking about the color of the blueberry juice? What are you talking about? It's just kind of silly.
Yeah, it looks like they're just on each other. Happened last game.
The intensely pursed lips of concentration. Oh no, I'm not on camera at all. I'm sorry. Okay.
Go down. Close. If you go the other way, it'll take too long.
Alright, so that is top coat on that hand. We're going to let it set for just a second before I pick up my brush and start painting the other hand because I don't want to ruin everything that I just did. Because that would be really depressing and sad. Okay.
Just keep going. Keep going and then kill them when we get in.
Mm-hmm. My big cat's over in the living room. Thought she was going to sit with me tonight, but I guess not. She's too busy cleaning herself and thinking that she's beautiful. And that light green actually does not go badly with the things, so I'm glad that I used it. And didn't putz around looking for something else. Because that works just fine. Alright, so second hand, we're starting with the same color that we started with on the first hand, which is this dark color. I'm using Kale Polish today. Havana Nights is the darkest red. We're going to use that for like these flowers. And then we're going to use Brick Sidewalk as the interior of those flowers. These are kind of irregularly shaped flowers, the darker ones, with kind of just feathered out petal edges, and then the centers are just sort of feathered too. And then the other flowers are more constructed.
He threw a frag at me.
Okay, so we're not trying to make it exactly the same, obviously, as the other hand, but we're going to try to get a similar vibe and balance, right? So we're going along the cuticle edge smoothly and then kind of bringing the petal-y feathers up into the nail area.
I think they'd rather chase you.
See?
You're not here.
Like that. Then we're going to do another one. And we're going to bring him over here-ish, kind of, sort of. A little bit more on the nail, because why not? Stabilizing my alternate hand. And then we're going to come to the index nail, and we're just doing one on here. Again, smooth around the cuticle area, and then feathery toward the nail. That's fine, and then we're going to do two on the middle nail. I'm sorry, I'm out of camera again. I forgot to turn myself. I tend to do that, don't I? When I switch hands. Okay, so we're going smooth along the cuticle area, feathery in toward the nail. Okay. That looks fine, and then a second one on this side. The ones on the middle nail, on the other hand, mostly got covered, and that's probably what will happen to them on this hand too, but they create a background color.
Why is his hitbox
and they help round out that cuticle, which is the whole point of what we're doing. Right? Right.
I don't know why he can play it.
Okay, and then we're doing two again, and we're going around the side more. La 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 la. Blah 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 blah. There was a musical group that James showed me the other day called Half Alive, and there's a song from them that's been stuck in my head for the majority of the weekend and the week thus far. And I don't know the name of the song, but the chorus says, "My heart is like the ocean, yearning, searching for the shore. I think that's the right word order. Searching for the shore. I want to say yearning or learning again. I don't know. There must be something more than dreaming. Okay. Get out of there, hair. You are not welcome. And then the red. Okay, so obviously I overshot that particular stroke with the red. Can you see right there how it's like right across that whole area? The nails underneath have top coat on them. Praise the Lord for that. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do a little bit of eraser action. And then look at that. It's just fine. Nobody would ever know. Okay. So now we're going to go into the light green after we do the centers, which don't take very long. The centers are fairly straightforward. I mean, it's just you get a little daub of the slightly lighter pink, and you go, hey guy, this is like the middle of the flower, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's looking approximately like it's the center of the flower. Okay, let's do this. Bloop, 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 and then look, it looks pretty decent. And then you come over here and you do the same thing. And you just kind of glob it in a feathery sort of a brushy sort of a thing. And then when you stand away from the nail as a whole, you're like, ooh, ah, flowers. And really, it was just blobs of color. Yes, that's right. Brush strokey, painterly, etc. So a lot of people use the term watercolor when they're referring to loose painting styles, but I am very picky about my use of the term watercolor because I actually like to paint in watercolor, and there are certain looks that you cannot get with watercolor, like a light color over a dark color. You cannot add like white back over when you're painting in actual watercolors. So when people refer to things like that as watercolor, it irks me just a little bit on the inside of my picky self. This needs to be a little brushier. That, you know what, that red area, the dark red, needs to come out more. It's not giving itself enough petal space. There. Oh, that's better. I'm gonna put a leaf on the one side, so don't mind the unevenness. Okay, and then over here, blue, 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 blue. And over here, blue, 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 blue. And then over here.
So you said 0 damage in our elite game.
Okay. Center's looking okay. Center's looking okay. Let's get the light green This one is called Pistachio Ice Cream, and it is a pretty apt name. I'm not gonna close those because, I mean, just knowing me, I'm gonna need to retouch something, but I don't need them in the forefront. Okay, and then we're doing leaves, and we're gonna try to keep the balance of the number of the colors even across the nails, but we're not being super picky about particular placement being the same. So like there's a leaf right here, right? Coming kind of sort of up-ish. And then there's some leaves down here. One of them is going to come along the cuticle to help with that cuticle curve, because that's the whole point of what we're doing here, is to try to fill in the cuticle, right? And then we're going to have another one sort of coming up, right? And that's ish equivalent, right? Looks fine, looks fine. Nothing wrong with that. And then we got one coming down this way. But we're going for symmetrical-ish, right? Symmetrical-ish. Okay, so then we have this side, one coming down.
Where is it?
And then we have this way, one coming kind of forward. Yeah, that's all right. And there isn't one on the other side, so I'm not going to do one on the other side. And then this one, we've got one coming down like this. And we got one coming down like this. Again, we're going to be kind of careful around that cuticle area to actually get some of the green into that cuticle area so that we can kind of curve it out. This green, for being a light green, is pretty opaque. I like that for leaf application things, so I don't have to go back in over it. And then we got one kind of center-ishly. So we're gonna not worry about the angle of it too much, but do one coming off of that other flower again. Okay, and then we got the pinky. So we got that coming off of the edge. We do need one little bit of the green again. Okay, that's fine. Let's clean off the brush. Okay. Sorry, I was just admiring the nails on this side.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that we can put off to the side. We're going to go in with our orange now. This is Cha Cha Cha. Also from Kale Polish. I'm just using Kale Polish because it was, as I said earlier, within reach and in colors that didn't clash with the base color. There are certain brands I've noticed that I like in some brands. Maybe it's the colors that the brands make, but I gravitate towards certain colors within certain brands. Like most of my Kale Polish colors are warm tones. Riddle me why? Do not know, but they are. Okay, we're gonna do some orange in between here. It's hiding in the background, and we're gonna try real hard not to bang it into the actual skin there. Okay, I'm gonna hold this actually away from the orange so that it doesn't get on there, because I did that on the middle nail on my other hand, and it was a kind of a pain to get off. So dry. And then we need one sort of here-ish. We're doing 6-petaled flowers, and we're making them, we're thinking about the petals, but we're also thinking about making them sort of pulled petals. They're not like round petals.
Dude, people are dying way more slowly now.
They're like pulled petals.
Like, that thing changed.
That's too much polish. Trying to keep the radial nature of them fairly even if we can. Yeah. Obviously, they're not going to be 100% perfect, especially on my non-dominant hand when it comes to angle of the pulled petals, but I'm going to try our darndest to get them to not just look like hap and stancidly placed blobs. See, that's all right. Okay, and then up here,
you can see the bullets.
We're doing another one. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Look at the bullets.
5, and 6. Lovely. What's that from? Singing in the Rain? Wouldn't it be lovely? Lovely. Pardon. Okay, so then we got a little baby one over here. We're actually going to make the one over here a little bigger on this nail. More of it showing, rather. Not the whole thing showing, but more of it showing because we got more space on this side on this nail.
Got 'em. They fell in the house.
And then this one over here. 1,
We got something on the house.
2,
Oh,
3, 4, 5, and 6. This orange is fairly opaque too, which, you know, is good. To not have to go back in and touch up everything. Aside from the shape, right? I want the shape to look good.
right. Got one.
Okay. I need to fill in a little bit more right here.
Yeah, finish him. Put him in.
There. That looks okay. And then the middle nail has... I did have some in between, but it doesn't really show through. But I'm still going to put there because there was some there, and I want them to be consistent. That side has one that's covering quite a bit, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to have one that's covering over the red flower. Whoops. This orange needs to be refreshed a little bit. It's starting to dry on the palette. Okay, I need to clean up the skin there. Because I got some orange on it, and I don't want to fight with it like I did on the other nail. So I'm going to push it away from the dry skin in the cuticle. Okay, and then we're going to do one on that side, kind of higher up, after we refresh our blob. Okay. Every time I lick my brush like that, it makes me think of that documentary. I think I've talked about it before.
They're nearby.
About the beginnings of toxicology in New York in the early 1900s
They jumped down.
and late 1800s.
Got him. Ow, I died. They're here. They're here.
And, you know, they used to use radium when they were painting watch faces.
He's healing.
Stop me if you've heard this story. And the people who would lick the paintbrushes to dip into the radium paint because they were trying to make glow-in-the-dark watches, right, for World War I, so that the soldiers could see the watch time in the trenches in the middle of the dark. They were using radium, and they all got jaw cancer, and their bones basically melted out of their faces, and it was awful and horrible and miserable. And then here I am licking my brushes the same way, but I don't have any radium in my nail polish. You know, hopefully that makes a difference. Okay, so obviously this corner with the chip, we're going to put extra attention into trying to cover. That was a super interesting documentary, though. It was all about, like, them discovering that lead in gasoline was, like, poisonous and bad for people, and, like, people in the Prohibition trying to make alcohol out of, like, furniture, like, old furniture, because they were so desperate to get drunk.
Me too.
No, of course not. I'm just totally being facetious. Yeah. It was just really interesting. There was a whole guy who was, like, acquitted because his kid was poisoned by the hot cocoa in their house, and the people thought that he, like, added poison to the hot cocoa on purpose because he was too poor to feed his family, and so he was, like, trying to kill his kids, like,
Yeah, he can jack our teeth
to make their passing less torturous because they wouldn't starve to death or whatever. And then the guy who was doing the research basically ended up discovering that it was like a residue that leached out of the metal in the tin of the chocolate or something like that, because it was a metal that wasn't food safe, and then was then obviously subsequently banned from food use. And I don't know, stuff like that. It was a really cool documentary. I really enjoyed it. I don't remember what it's called, though. Yeah, and it was, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. Carbon monoxide, and they talked about the development of the coroner from being a political position to an actual medical doctor required sort of a position.
Okay, I'm going to do that and then try to join now. But you just force it.
It's very interesting. It was on Netflix.
No, when I swap it, it forces it back.
Praise, are you still here? Do you know what it was called?
I leave.
She was watching it with me.
You're just joining me. Really? What if we join you? Nice team.
Do you remember the name of that documentary about toxicology? Or do you have googly fingers that you can help me find it? Because obviously my fingers are not googly at this moment. They're a little gooey, but they're not googly. Okay. And then we're going to do the one that's kind of peeking out from under here. And say, hey, little orange friend. We're going to just see a little peek of you. Okay. Like that. I think we're going to add a little bit of the dark red right over the top of that once it's set. Because it went over the top of the red a little bit. And then the pinky with the orange. Obviously, the other pinky got too enthusiastic. So we're going to try to curb our enthusiasm slightly on this other nail over here and not make it quite as giant as its fellow.
He doesn't even
Tone it down. Keep it small. It's a pinky after all. Oh well.
Yeah.
That angle wasn't quite right, but that's okay. I can fix it. We're gonna go this way. Woo! Plop.
Nice. Yeah, it's way cooler. The other one's annoying.
Then we're gonna come right down the center. Okay. How did your editing go, by the way, Colette? Did you finish?
Season theme for me. Season 5 one.
You were doing the water marble from Saturday, yeah? Okay, orange done. Did you not do it? Oh no! What did you do instead? Or did you just not finish?
Treatment game.
Okay. Well, at least you did some of it right. The multi-chrome stamping. Okay. Okay, so this is Caramello. It's going to be the center of our orange flowers. Bloop with our dotting tool. Bloop. Bloop.
Yeah. Those people are already dead. Kill the Vietnamese guy.
Yeah, I can believe it. Both the Amazon business expenses and the nap. I fell asleep on Sunday after we got home from the wedding. I came home and I told James, I was like, you know, it's not quite bedtime yet, but I think I'm just going to go lie down and kind of relax a little bit. And then, you know, I don't even know. I fell asleep. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I fell asleep. And he woke me up. He's like, do you have your alarm set? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Very blearily. Okay, so we're going to go back in with a little bit of dark red over the top of this orange little corner. Which one was that? I don't even remember the name of it again. Havana Nights, is that right? Yes! Haha! A+ for me. And we're just gonna do go right over the top of that.
Okay, continue.
Lovely.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yes. Yes. But, you know, I ended up sleeping pretty well that night as a consequence, because I slept straight through and got good sleep. Which, you know, sometimes there's two parts of me. There's the part of me that really loves sleeping, and then there's the part of me that, like, wants to do the things that I'm already in the middle of doing and doesn't want to have to go to bed because I'm in the middle of something else, gosh darn it. And they war with one another. Okay, we're going to go through and do the darker green leaves on these, and then we're going to do the red dots, and then we're going to top coat, and then we'll be done. And our time is not too bad, comparative to what I was expecting. This is Chloe, the green here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're adding some of these dark green leaves. We're going to go this way. And we're making kind of slightly longer stemmed kind of branchy leaves, I guess you could call them. Longer stemmed branchy leaves. Yeah, that's articulate. I speak English good. Okay, we're gonna go this way and add our little branchy leaves.
Or is this Snowpiercer?
Going down.
I'll see.
Yes. And then we're going to do the two coming up across this way. Bloop. Bloop.
Good. Backpack.
What's that song? Bloop. 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 Or however it goes. That's what I'm thinking as I'm doing these little leaves. The shape of that going across the top of the nail is already the same. So I'm actually not going to do a full leaf on that side. I'm going to do another little partial leaf up across
I'll say that's
this corner. Like
don't
this.
Go in. Yeah, don't go in.
Like that. Because that gives the impression that it has two leaves, but it doesn't change the overall shape of the design over the nail.
Yeah, we're not trying to have fun. We're trying to have cosmetics too.
Yeah. Thank you, Praise. I appreciate the love and support and hanging outiness.
There's two of them.
You know, everybody else in chat too. But Praise is giving me compliments, so, you know.
Was there a shotgun bolt and I missed it?
That's always appreciated. Okay, so we're going down. Meow. And we're going this way. Bloop. Bloop. And I've got some on my skin, but this color is not as pain of the butt to remove as that orange, so I don't care. Okay.
Circle's coming.
It's coming down a little bit longer than on the other hand, but that's all right.
All right.
No harm with that. And then we're going to go back this way. Whee! And we're going to be very careful not to overextend these little leafy bits because of awkward hand angles. Like right here, we're not going to overdo this. Little angle right here. No, we're not. We're going to turn the hand and we're going to do it this way instead because that's much, much easier. There we go. And aha. Yes. Oh, yes. That's much, much better angle. And then right there's the end bit. Connect, please. Right there. Nope. I missed a little bit. This green is a little bit too dry, and this end bit has like a hole in the center of the green line as a result. I'm going to... I was going to say I'm going to have to refresh it, but I was able to scooge it around enough to make it work. Obviously, we need to get more out for the next nail, though. I am literally like 2 inches away from my... Do you see this? Okay, this is my nail, okay, and this is my face, and what's the distance there?
Should we kill them?
What? Yeah, 1.5 inches?
They are a leaf.
But you can see, kind of. Because of my camera angle. Okay. And then this one, we had one coming down on this side. Oh yes, much more fluid. Much easier to paint with.
No help. No help.
And then the other side.
Yeah,
Also coming down. And then we're going to do 2 that are going up at an angle. And we're going to be going...
Whoa, why did I die?
That angle. And that's really good because we're going to cover up this weird, awkward, globby red bit that kind of sucks. Yay. Right across there. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Into the void. You oatmeal-looking piece of trash, red leaf, petal, whatever you are.
No.
And instead, we just get a pretty green leaf right across the top. Ha-ha. got this nail. Okay, so we're going to go up this way a little bit.
Yeah, that icon's different, right? That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay. Whew, that awkward was angle. Yeah, that angle was awkward. Okay, and then this one's gonna come this way. Meow. Sorry, I gotta turn this.
I want to
Get
get the bottom of the octane, do some blue on your face.
the leaf at a different angle. That leaf actually is. I like that. The shape that one turned out. Sorry, that's not quite in focus. But do you see how it like kind of tapers toward the stem a little bit more? Yes. Sometimes you feel like you're doing the exact same thing on every nail, and then it turns out that no, it was just a little bit different, and that one came out better than all the others, and then you have a favorite suddenly. Okay, so then we're gonna come down. That one also is slightly more delicate than the opposing hand, but that's alright. Sometimes that happens. Like, you're being so careful with your non-dominant hand that it ends up turning out a little bit more, I don't know, dainty? Is that, I don't know if that's right. Because not necessarily dainty. Thinner lines. I guess that's dainty. Okay, so then this one is going back up this way. Whee! And then this one's going to come down.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to add the red dots on this hand, and then we're going to put on top coat. And then we are going to do cleanup of top coat on stream too, because, I mean, why not? I have to sit here and do it. I might as well hang out and chat with you guys while I do it. After we top coat the second hand, we're going to clean up this hand, and then we're going to go back and do that hand. And I think, I don't know, we'll see. I buffed the originals of these matte with the matte buff block. It's not a matte buff block. I use the block to buff things matte. And I might do that for these tomorrow. I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm too lazy, and I don't want to because I want to go to bed after I'm done. We'll see. Okay, so the red that we need for the dots is called Cubana. It's the red that I used in my poinsettia water marble, I think I said earlier. It's a kind of a bright, vibrant red. It's not like as brightly like wah in your face as like you might think. Like a spicy red, but it is pretty bright. It's not as bright as the way I made it sound. Okay, so we're not keeping the dots exactly the same, but we do want the balance of the colors to feel balanced. Okay. And if we're balancing the other elements, the dots are probably going to end up in similar places. But I don't think I need 3 dots up here. I think I only need 2 on this snail. Yeah. Yeah. We are going to add a little bit of green down here again. Do you see how that cuticle space is flatter? Okay, good night, Praise. I'm almost done. You know, after top coat and cleanup and whatever. I'm almost, you know what the design looks like. You've seen the pretty part. Yeah, you're good. I love you. Good night. Okay. Let's get a little bit more of this pistachio, and we're gonna thicken up the green edge here so that it blends better once top coat's applied. And of course, very slightly flooding my cuticles because why wouldn't I? There we go. That's better. We'll come back and clean up again before we do the top coat. Right now we're doing dots. We got 3 and then 1 and then 1. Oop.
Got one. Got 2.
That little bit of it, this one blends in with this flower a little bit, and so it looks kind of like a row of dots there, but I'm not too fussed about it. I'm not gonna go back and change it. We do want to put some red up here so that we bring some of that color back in, and then we're gonna put a red dot there, and we're gonna put some down here as well. And then we want and then
It's big, I'm not taking.
And then yeah, down there, and then one up here. Okay, that's fine. And then on the pinky, oh no, I picked up a fuzzy. Go away, fuzzy. Nobody wants you. You're like the worst. Okay.
2 people died from falling? Three people? Wind tree?
We only need 2 dots, I think, on this one. Okay, so dots are done. Let's do cleanup, and then we will do top coat. I'm actually going to close my polishes now. I'm not going to put them away because I need them for reference when I post on Reddit and Instagram and whatever. Just for reference again for you, kale polish pistachio ice cream, kale polish Chloe, kale polish Cubana, kale polish Havana Nights, kale polish brick sidewalk, kale polish cha-cha-cha, and kale polish Caramello.
Comment.
Okay. Let's do some cleanup of the color around these nails really quick, and then we'll do top coat. as I mentioned on the first hand, there are a couple of places in this cuticle area where the color that I applied in these flowers is not actually there, but because I have a nude base color on the rest of my nail, if I make the edge line like curve smoothly from one color to the next color, you're not going to notice that that is a nail instead of a nude base in those little tiny spaces. Okay.
Where'd you go? Where? Dude, so fast.
Okay. And then
You got him?
the sand, same deal, going around, making a smooth curve. There's more polish on my skin on this hand, which should not be a surprise because this is why non-dominant hands work. Sorry, I'm out of frame. And look, you can see that my battery on my phone's about to die. Exciting. Full of suspense. Will I make it until end of stream with chat on my phone, or will I not? Tune in now to find out. Okay, I feel like I covered that chip really well. Obviously, it dips down a little bit there. You can see a not a value shift, a topographical shift, I guess, in the height of the polish. But top coat will even that out. Negligible difference.
Great slow.
And then this pinky.
Yeah. The rate is low.
This pinky is like the wonkiest when it comes to the way that it wants to grow.
Probably like all fortress in it.
There, that's pretty good. Alright. Top coat. Okay.
Yeah.
Cuticle scoop. Ah! And drop the polish brush because I missed the friggin' bottle. What in the world? Look at what you're doing, boys and girls. And don't trust your proprioception, apparently.
Right now.
Okay. I've got way too much top coat on this nail. I'm pulling off a lot of the excess with this cuticle scoop.
Kill the president.
Oh, okie dokie, that's
Oh, jeez.
much less top coat heavy. Second nail. When I dropped it, I smashed it against the edge of the thing, and then just now when I pulled it out, the brush was full of bubbles because I shoved it back in all full of air.
I hit him. I don't see him. Lag.
And then cuticle scoop, of course, again. I'm just going to do it on my hand. I should have gotten a new paper towel when I started. But I didn't, and now there's no clean area for me to wipe this off on, so I'm just going to do it on my hand and then get it off with a Q-tip. I think I'm a little bit further this way than my camera thinks I am. I'm right in the middle of end of year progress report time crunch at work this week and next week.
I do hate to him, really.
And multiple insurance progress reports also to write. This morning, though, I thought I was going to have a chance to do some because we had several cancellations because of a horrible accident on the 15 that was preventing a lot of people from getting into the office. But the whole time that I thought, like my first kid was absent because of that, and I was like, oh cool, I can get some progress reports done. Phone rings. Carolyn, our office manager, comes into the office at around 11, and so from 9 until then people leave voicemail messages typically. But when I don't have a student, like if I have a cancellation or something, I'll answer the phone, right? The phone kept ringing and people kept canceling because they were stuck in this horrible traffic thing that they couldn't get out of. They're like, I've gone a mile in the last 45 minutes. We're not going to be able to make it to speech. Like, yeah, no kidding. But because I kept answering the phone and wanted to like update, what was going on, I ended up not actually getting any extra progress report writing time in that part of the day. Oh well. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm getting ample top coat on this edge here where the chip was so that it can help level out that polish difference. And then we're scooping. Scooping the cuticle and the sidewall. There. Okay, one more nail to top coat, and then clean up, and then bed. Let's see. There. Okay. Inky. Here we go. Okay. That has a tiny little bubble right in the center of the flower, and we're going to pull it off so that it's not right in the middle of the yellow part, and it's on the flaky part where you can't notice it as much. Then we're going to not knock over the top coat, because that would be disastrous. And instead, we're going to scoop out these cuticles and then do cleanup. Oh no, look at that. I just pushed my right into the wet nail. Okay, I am not even going to worry about the color there because it is in the center of the flower where the color is irregular anyway. I'm just going to push a little bit of top coat across that area to kind of scooch the pink back over a little bit. You know how people say to float the brush on purpose so that you don't smear your polish? I just did the opposite on purpose so that I could smear the polish back into place in the place where I banged it. I'm touching and pulling the pinkish red brick sidewalk color back over the little ding that I made. Okay, that'll be alright. I'll have to go over the edge there with some acetone and make sure that it's straight. I saved it though. You can't tell I banged it. It's fine. Okay, cuticle scooping done. Let's do brush cleanup. I'm closing my top coat. Let's get my brush. Let's get my top coat. Let's get this brush, brush, brush. Doop, 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 doop. You eating more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you're in your window of time. You're fine.
I'm moving.
Okay. That nail is done. Yay, that nail is done. Can't believe the school year is almost done. Like, we still see students in the summer through insurance and stuff, but all of our school students we don't see during the summer. Some of them have extended school year where they have a little bit longer services at the beginning of the summer to make sure that they just don't regress too much. But not all of them do, right? Not everybody qualifies for that, and that's fine. But I remember being a kid and summer felt like it was ages and ages long. And then now as an adult, it does not feel ages and ages long. Like, I know that my students, when they come back in the fall to see me, it will feel to them like eons have passed and like they haven't seen me in forever. And when I see them at the beginning of the next school year, it's going to be like I just saw them and they've only been gone for like a little bit. And that's always weird to me. Like, the continuity with kids is interesting. Like, I used to see this student, right? And I would see her and her brother, and one of the other therapists and I alternated. We saw both of them. And then the schedule changed, and one of us started just seeing one, and the other one just saw the other one. And the daughter, I don't see her anymore, the sister. And the other day, like, it hasn't been that long. It's been something like 6 months, which I guess, you know, when you're 5 is kind of a long time, because I went to go help her get a lollipop the other day, and she was like, "What's your name?" Like, she couldn't remember my name, even though we used to work together, like, all the time. It's funny. Because the orange is not stuck in that cuticle too badly. That's good news. That means we don't have to do extra. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on a camera again. I forgot to switch it back around. When I filed my nails last week, I filed them slightly shorter than is easier to cap the tips, and today they are back to the length where it's a little easier to cap the tips. You know, which is nice. It makes the wear time a little bit longer. Okay, gotta get the little bit of top coat on the end of my finger, and then this hand is done. There we go. There's that hand. I'm pretty pleased with that. I like that. Okay, and then we're gonna clean up this hand, and then it will be done. Yay! My leg is just about getting to the point where it always gets to. I should not start on the pinky. I painted that one last. Where I feel like I need to stretch my leg, but I think I can wait until I finish cleaning up this top coat. I need to get a Q-tip and get this big old wad of top coat off my palm. I can see it in my peripheral vision as I'm cleaning up this nail. Just like lurking in the background. Oh, I'm not on camera again. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to switch it when I switch hands. Okay, let's get a Q-tip. Let's get rid of all this. And this. that gray that I used on the multi-chrome rainbow stamping was so hard to get out of the ridges in my fingers. Like all of these other colors that I'm cleaning up today, I'm just like, oh, look, it's coming off. Amazing. But that one was so incredibly pigmented, it just did not want to get out. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Okay. That
Yeah, the gameplay looks kind of boring.
is done.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
there's the two thumbs together.
That looks as bad as 15. Broke back.
There's a little piece of dry skin
I'm sorry.
that stuck to the edge of the top
Yeah,
coat
sorry.
cleanup there, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna
Oh, yeah.
blight my clean edge with its dry crustitude. Oops, sorry. I'm a little bit this way.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite all the way, but a little bit. The end of this finger got some green on it.
Meat boys. Oh, boy. Yeah, that.
Okay, going around.
Yep.
Making sure that the skin doesn't have any excess on it, while still not taking off too much of the top coat that's actually on the nail. Because we want that to stay so that our nails will stay pretty longer.
The Frozen one is weird because it's like a broken version of the movie.
Okay. That's looking pretty good.
The Toy Story one's like, yeah, I'll say, yeah, the Toy Story one's good.
And then the ring finger. Are you talking about Kingdom Hearts over there? James?
Huh?
Talking about Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah. It's not. It's short. It's just random.
Oops, sorry, I just bumped you again.
Yeah, it's alright.
My phone is still alive. So that's a positive thing.
It's the other game. The dead one. They're just merging them. They have no ideas. And that's the fourth one.
I'm hunching, but that's okay. I'm almost done. Okay, so that chip, you cannot see that there was a chip there anymore.
Really bad.
Right, it just looks brand new. And then we got the pinky. And after this pinky skin is all cleaned up, then we're going to be done and it'll be time to go to bed. Okay, we got to make sure that
Yep. Oh, wait.
we're not overstepping our nail boundaries with our top coat. I had a weird like corner of top coat that wanted to be a corner there, even though the nail does not have a corner there. Like, what in the world, top coat? What are you doing? You do not have the authority to make these decisions.
Oh no, he wants to start the universe so.
And
He
then
doesn't like any sort of
the end
technology.
bit here.
He doesn't like all the Magitech stuff.
Alright.
Yeah, it's kind of what makes it a fun
That's
thing.
that. Okay, so there's the hand number 2. The thumbs. And the hand number 1.
Yeah, and that's just the franchise.
And we're done.
Way, like,
so,
Final Fantasy IV, you ride a mechanical whale.
Let's go and see if there's anybody to host.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to put top coat. I'm not top coat. I already put top coat on. I'm going to put some cuticle oil on so that I don't forget to put cuticle oil on.
I'm scared. You get scared? I'm scared.
I actually got a cuticle oil pen for the first time when I was at the indie shop. And although I'm glomming it on a lot right there, it's actually, I find it easier to apportion my cuticle oil in a less gratuitously excessive way. And this obviously will help any last little bits of top coat come off the skin too.
Dude, I don't even have a helmet.
Okay, so we got extra oil on some of these nails. I'm gonna grab it with the brush and bring it over here.
No, you guys switch. Yeah, be what you're bought.
This is the cuticle oil pen from
Zombie
Claw.
Mini map. They changed that.
Which is black raspberry vanilla scented, which is good. I'm enjoying it. A couple of my friends said it smelled more like vanilla than it did like raspberry, but I smell the raspberry. So, you know, different people notice different things, I guess, a little bit. Okay. So, there is nobody hosting, nobody that I can host right now, which means that I'm just going to cut stream. So, thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you next time I stream and probably in somebody's chat before then if you are anybody that hangs out anywhere that I hang out. So, good night. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.